The fourth, we have a universal selector. Okay. Element, ID, class, and universal selector. Right. Now let's see what is the element selector. So when we select any HTML and based on that element name, when we add any CSS properties, we call it as an element selector. Okay. When we select an element and based on that element name, when we add the CSS. For example, here you see, this is the table is a element, right? Table heading is an element, correct? Table data is an element. Based on that, what I have done, I have selected them and I have added a CSS on them, correct? If we do like this, then I have selected an H1 and I've added a color to it. This is how if we do, we call it as the element selector. Okay, this is the simple one which usually the way we do, we call it as the element selector. Fine. Okay. Now next we have a ID selector. Let me remove this table. Okay, I hope you people got it how we are doing. So for now, let's remove it. Or should I give you first? Let me add in the chat. Okay, so now I will remove the table. And here I will add a paragraph. Let me add some content to it. So I have added a paragraph. Fine. So after adding, here I have added, now I want to see a ID selector, right? So what is ID selector basically? So in ID selector, what happened? We use a ID attribute. Okay. Here we use a attribute called ID, and inside that attribute we give certain name. Okay. And using that name, for example, I have added a para. I've written the ID name as a para. Okay. Now using that para, using the ID para, I am going to select the whole paragraph and I am going to do a styling on the based of that. Okay. How I can do the styling? I will go to this CSS file. So whenever we are using an ID selector, we use a hash. Okay, hash and the name of the ID. What is the name of the ID? Para, right? Then here I will write something. Suppose I want to change the color. I will write a color, then red, for example. Once I store, see, it has changed the color. I am not writing anywhere P to change, right? Neither I am adding is inline CSS here. No, right? What I have done, I have written one ID attribute and there I've written one name. And using the name, basically I am selecting the whole paragraph and doing some changes. Okay, great. I hope you got it. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is called a ID selector, but there is another difference between the ID selector and the rest of the selectors. So suppose I have added another paragraph. Okay. Now I want to do some change in this also. So the same ID cannot be used again and again. The ID selected, the para which I have written, it will be a unique. It should be unique. Okay. The same ID selector cannot be written again and again. If I want to add a